Welcome to Space.
Hey guys.
Hello. So we have a lot for today's episode and a lot of Olympics, but something just happened with the Olympics. I just watched my first breakdancing.
Did you? I turned it off right before they started. How did it go?
That was a good decision on your part. We'll get to it, but listen, if you love the Olympics, we have a lot of Olympics for you today.
We do. What's happened?
But we're going to start with entertainment because that's what we do around here. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's an actress named Blake Lively.
She's up and coming.
Yeah, new person. Probably never heard of her, seen her anywhere. She has a little movie out. Really not been a lot of publicity, press about it at all.
No, it's like an indie film.
Yeah, it's called It Ends With Us, I think. I don't even really know. It's basically everywhere, which works out perfect for me as she is my idol. Last night, in fact, Aaron said to me about my college group of friends that we're like the sisterhood of traveling pants. And I said, "Oh, do I get to be Blake?" He very quickly said no. I don't really know how to take it. I'm still not sure we're going to make
so
it.
Rude.
Yeah. He then told me I was America Ferrera, and I really didn't know how to take that. So
I'm going to need his why on that.
Yeah, we may have to bring him back maybe after the divorce is finalized with that comment. But Blake Lively, my queen, is in this new movie, It Ends With Us, and they are on a press hullabaloo.
A huge one.
And you asked me something today. You said, "Is this normal?" Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's a lot. And there has been some rumors. So if you're not familiar, Blake Lively is in the new movie. If you're not, this is for you, Laura. Blake Lively is an actress. She's in this movie called It Ends With Us, and it's based on a book by a woman named Colleen Hoover.
Who had a huge year last year.
Yeah, Book Talk really made Colleen Hoover a name. She's been a writer for like over a decade and was a nobody. And then Book Talk last year, let me tell you, let's go ahead and hit our knees in our prayer closets that when I put my book out, that Book Talk loves me too. Little shameless plug there. But this like blew up, and apparently it was always Colleen Hoover's dream for Blake Lively to play the main character, Lily. Which I get it, Colleen.
Fantastic.
My dream too.
Casting.
I mean, dream big and apparently manifest anything. Now the drama actually begins with Colleen Hoover. I don't know if you know that part. There's a lot of drama around the book. It Ends With Us. It's actually the story, loosely, of Colleen Hoover's real mom and her real dad.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, see? Late breaking news. Thanks for tuning in. And apparently there's a lot of siblings in this mix. Some are super supportive. Some are maybe not as much. Maybe bio dad doesn't love the depiction of himself.
Understood.
Yeah, because if you don't know the storyline, the main character, Lily, Blake Lively, meets a guy played by an actor named Justin Baldoni.
I think so. Close.
And we've got some drama there, but they kind of fall in love and all that, and he's abusive. Turns out that he's abusive. And then she's got, as you do in all love story movies, she's got this guy from her past that comes back into her life, and the whole thing transpires. Well, so obviously in Colleen Hoover's life, that's kind of spicy.
Yeah.
So when it kind of blew up, I mean, nobody cared when she wrote this book 10 years ago because nobody read it. And then all of a sudden it blew up, and now people care in the family.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and make the movie because now you're all millionaires anyway. And now we have more drama because if you have watched any of the press, which means essentially you've turned on the TV or your social media, Blake and the whole cast, minus Justin Baldoni, Deanie, are everywhere together, very together. Like, seems like they're one big happy family. Like they would make movies together the rest of their lives.
Right.
And he's nowhere to be found. Until yesterday, I saw he started appearing on some shows, And he's very focused in his press junkets on the abuse aspect of the movie.
Okay, that was what I was going to mention, because they are all very much promoting this very differently.
Yeah, her whole vibe is flowers, because it's Lily Bloom's is her floral shop in the book and the movie. So everything's light and fluffy and bright and togetherness and friendship. And he's like, we need to shine a light on the domestic violence, which not belittling at all. Sure, that's important, but very different. And now he is actually supposedly one of the directors of the movie.
Right.
But something is amiss. Something is in the water. And in fact, one of the main characters in the movie, Jenny, who is technically Justin's sister in the movie, she's been doing all the press with Blake. And she was like flat out asked a question about Justin the other day and just...
she sidestepped it real fast.
Yeah, like they had some training, some media training on this. And so something is definitely going on. There's rumors that we've read that perhaps Justin was not too thrilled that Ryan Reynolds had a lot more to do with the movie than maybe he was hoping or thinking. Yeah. Sounds like Blake's even said in an interview that Ryan wrote one of the scenes, which is one of kind of the iconic scenes already from the trailers.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some like bitterness. I don't know. And when they asked Justin about Blake, he very like succinctly and sharply said he thought she was ready to direct next when they asked him about, because there's a sequel to It Ends With Us, because it's got to start with us too, of course. And asked him if he was going to direct that. And he quickly was like, I think Blake's ready to direct. And so
yeah, clearly something happened there where there was like not an agreement. It could have been based on creative control, who had more say. It could have just simply been there was a disagreement on how we're promoting the movie. And I get that the domestic violence piece, well, yes, that needs to be spoken about. And, you know, we've got to do things that combat that. I don't know that that's maybe the route we go when we're promoting a film. Like, don't put the Debbie Downer on it. Because then people are not going to go to a film that they think is completely just about domestic violence.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting if it ever truly comes out. Of course, it's, you know, these sort of things. I don't know that we ever always find out the whole story. It'll be interesting. I, of course, will always be on Blake's side. I don't care what happened. Right. I can't wait to see it. I did ask Aaron if we were going on a date to see it. He seemed very startled by that. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen. I don't need to read the transcript because I've read the book. So I'm excited. But one of the things that always happens with Blake Lively is the style.
Yes.
She really is like, and maybe it's because of my obsession. I don't know. You usually are a little more grounded. So you tell me if I'm wrong about this. But she's kind of like the style icon right now.
She is, which the thing is, she's her own stylist.
That's what I love. I
think that that's why we all think that she always looks great, because first off, stunning. You are stunning in the things that you are picking.
Yeah.
But she's picking things that aren't crazy. Like if you think back to the last press tour I can remember is like Dune. And I realize that's an odd movie anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But the clothing choices when you're trying to emulate maybe your character or the movie, like that's just, it's too weird. So nobody's going to be like, oh my gosh, Zendaya is stunning. And like, it's just not. But Blake's is more of like normal. She makes jeans look great. She made, you know, a business suit look really good and feminine. The dress that she wore to the UK premiere, like, it was just gorgeous because it doesn't look, it's not like you were trying to get attention for it. You just went with like something that was beautiful and classic. But I think that's probably why she gets more attention for her style, is because it's not so out there, but it is definitely elevated from the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw an interview yesterday with her, shocking, that she was talking about that, about being her own, maybe it's one you sent me, about being her own stylist and how kind of her process of how she picks out pieces. And she's very theme oriented, which I think that sometimes people can go, Dune is a great example. I think people can go a little buck wild with that and it gets like
too much.
Now, granted, there are plenty of people on the Twitter that are hating on Blake and the trend. And of course, because you have nothing else to do with your lives. But I think the way she has kind of woven the whole Lily Blooms into this press tour, it has been so, because some of them have actually had floral stuff, but some of them haven't. They've just been, and one of the big iconic pieces that we're going to talk about here that leads us to our next topic is she wore the Britney Spears dress, not the replica, the actual.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how, and like she wore the Elizabeth Taylor necklace.
Okay, so is there like a Britney Spears song or something in this? Because someone said that in the ending credits, like there was a special shout out or something, and Britney Spears was one of the people listed. Now, obviously, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if that's accurate, but
right. So
them saying that and then her wearing the dress, I'm like, what's the connection there?
So, well, part of it is I don't exactly know like how these things happen, because when they asked Blake, like, "Oh, you're wearing the Britney dress," she said, "Yeah, it became available." Like, what does that mean? Like, it became available.
Like a warehouse?
Like, is it on Poshmark? I didn't see it. But no. So, like, this dress with Britney, it's been like, everyone says like iconic, but I think there's a lot of Britney dresses that have been iconic. Yeah. I can't remember. I was trying to look really fast. I can't remember where she wore it. I feel like it was an awards show.
I think so. Was it a VMAs?
Yes, I think it was like 2000, early 2000. It was Britney, so it was early 2000s. So it's a Versace dress. It's sort of rainbowy, but like pastel rainbowy, sequiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it was made for Blake. It was just everything is so
yeah, it was pretty.
But along the same timeline here with the press junket for It Ends With Us and Deadpool, because we just can't get enough of this family.
No.
It's also been announced that Britney Spears has a biopic coming out.
Yes.
Which I'm not surprised per se, but I guess there's part of me that kind of is.
I think there's people. See, I don't know. Does Britney have any? Is it her team that's putting this biopic out, or somebody that's got the rights to it?
Well, I'm not sure how all this has worked yet, because I don't think anybody knows. And here's the other thing I'm going to say: we'll see if it gets made.
That's true.
Because there's been a lot of things that Britney was supposedly doing, and then all of a sudden just like came off the shelf. So,
I mean, at some point, don't we think she's probably run out of money? So I wouldn't be surprised if she does this. How is she still making money with as much as she's paid lawyers and her family in her own life?
I don't know. But apparently she's not broke. I think about that all the time, though. Like, she did. I read that she picked the director and the writer for it. So I guess she does have some control over it. I guess she owns it. I don't know how all this works, but she announced it herself that it was coming out, which is another reason I think we'll see if it happens, because when she says things like, let's take that with a grain of salt. But let's just say perhaps this movie really is going to get made. Okay. Who would you cast as Britney? And of course, you cannot have a Britney biopic without Mr. Justin Timberlake. So who would you cast as Justin as well?
So I think for Justin, I'm going to go Deacon Felipe. Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Felipe's son.
That is a great one.
Right? I think he would look the part, and he has done a little bit of singing. I want to say he's released under a different name, and it's like indie type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think he could pull the part off really well, and age-wise, he looks great for that.
Okay.
The Britney one, I'm going back and forth between two. So I've got either Sydney Sweeney or Renee Rapp. But I think I would go Sydney Sweeney and then do Renee Rapp if you're going to cast like Christina Aguilera in the movie, because they were each other.
Well, and they were like frenemies. So that she will definitely be in there somehow.
Yeah.
That's another reason I have questions about how and if this can be made, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people, especially post Britney's book, that are going to be like, hey, I'm going to sue you for everything you have. I think Justin's like, I got some legal bills to pay right now and need you to leave my name out of your mouth.
I will be interested to see if he puts anything out like to her team being like, you cannot defame me or any of that stuff. We'll see.
Well, the inner workings of Hollywood is super intriguing to both of us. And I think this is something I would love to learn more about, but I don't really know. I'm pretty sure there's not like a Coursera online of how to learn about this, but this happens all the time, apparently. And like, we don't hear about it. Like, in fact, my first Eras tour with Minneapolis, when Taylor did the whole Dear John thing and she gave the speech ahead of time, there's alleged rumors that he had reached out to her team and was like, hey, stop using the, like, and so this was her way of still being able to do it, make amends kind of situation. So I don't know. I just feel like Justin is going to be like, okay, I took quite the hit with the book. Like, let's not put me on the big screen too.
Yeah.
But you don't have a Britney biopic without Justin. No. So, I mean, I
think you could still do it and have him, but maybe just leave some of the like deep personal things out. But then again, there's the huge, like when they broke up, that was a huge thing. I feel like you can't leave that out of her story.
Well, and so much of her music, kind of ties to him in that time period. I just don't know that you can get away with it. So I really struggled with this because they're both, I think they're going to have a hard time casting this movie because both are so iconic. The only thing I was kind of thinking back to, which is crazy that you picked Deacon, I was thinking back to when they cast Walk the Line with Reese Witherspoon and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Shout out to my pledge sister that was Reese Witherspoon's sister in the movie. She
nice.
has a very brief like span of but like you thought about like June Carter and Johnny Cash, like those were pretty specific looks too. But I think even now, all these years later, that was like less of a deal to like hit it on the nose.
Right.
That I think Britney and Justin, I almost think you're going to have to go a little different because you're never going to be able to get it right on the nose.
I think as long as your costume design nails it, I think you could sway a little bit on the actual actor.
Okay, so I really struggled with this and I still don't feel real good about my choices. And I'm already very curious to see your face when I say these. Okay. Millie Bobby Brown.
For Britney?
Okay, see, that was what I thought you were going to do. Okay, look, I know. This is what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, you're really swaying from.
Okay, well, let me tell you, Justin, because I don't know if I'm getting any better. Timothy Chalamet? Okay.
Sure, it's man.
So, okay, I knew.
No.
Okay, but listen, I really think this could be something. Okay, because you can't be on the nose exactly with them. I was like, okay, let's
go. On the nose, Mandy, you weren't even on the body.
Okay, but wait. We know Timothy can sing, okay? Okay, he has a little curl to his hair. Okay? You're not with me yet. Okay. No. Millie Bobby Brown, I don't know that she can sing at all. And she doesn't have blonde hair.
We can do wigs.
So see, now you're coming on board. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
I could maybe be sold on Millie. Listen, Timothy, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Okay. Well, I did have two other people, but I still don't feel good about them either.
Well, give them to me and let me judge you on those.
Okay, I had Austin Butler.
That's a little better.
Okay, see, I thought that was
He's gonna have to lose the Elvis accent.
Well, okay, I was like, he's too much Mr. Elvis now.
Yeah.
He has, and the accent is so wrong. But I do feel like he could probably pull off the sexual side of Justin much better than Timothy.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have that vibe for me at all. And then I don't think this is any better. Haley Steinfeld, I see. I really struggle with the Britney part, but Haley can sing-ish.
I just think that Britney is so iconic.
That's my point. That's why I was like, let's just go left field because we can't.
Okay. I can appreciate that.
Thank you. It really didn't feel like it in the moment. Felt very judged. Very judgy.
Listen, I don't think if we took this to the director, they would be like, "Yep, let's reach out to their agent." But listen, I appreciate that you thought it through.
We have had a lot of shows that could definitely use our help. Shonda Rhimes. I mean, a lot of people could really rely on us. This isn't it.
No, this isn't our sweet spot.
No.
We'll have opinions and thoughts about what they do, but it's just not our sweet spot.
Listen, I tried. That's all I could tell you. That's why I can't wait to see what happens with it if it really happens, because
yes,
we'll see if you're any better than my picks is all I'm saying.
That's true.
But in speaking of all the things of the queens of the world, like Blake and Britney, let's talk about Taylor.
Yes.
Not the best week for the Swifties.
No.
So if you are not familiar, Laura, you can either skip or I can catch you up to speed now. There was an ISIS threat, dear Lord, for the Vienna shows this week, which were supposed to actually end tomorrow. Yeah. 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And shut it down. And listen, they have only ever done this once before, 2014. It was like Thailand, Bangkok, somewhere. I don't remember. Somewhere in Asia. There was some political unrest. And they had to cancel. I think that was during the Red tour, maybe.
Okay.
Only ever time she's ever had to cancel for like this kind of reasons. Obviously, we had the issue in South America this year where it was like not healthy to carry on with the heat, and we lost that one person. This, like, when we first saw the articles, I sent you the very first thing I saw, which was before like Taylor Nation, before anything was really coming out. And a lot of times Becca has to tell me, Mandy, that's not real. And so honestly, right when I sent it, I said, listen, I don't know if this is real, because it just felt so like outlandish. Right. But it was probably within the hour, then Taylor Nation confirmed, and it was like legit. And as the week has gone on, there's been press conferences, even as recent as this morning, a third suspect has been arrested. Yeah. Like, these guys were not just...
These are teenagers.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19 so far. And listen, these guys were not just like talking on Twitter. Like, we had everything ready. They had chemical substances have been found, actual weapons, machetes, bombs. And the other scary part of it is 2 of these 3 guys were already hired by internal security at the venue. The guy they arrested today was part of who helped build the stage. Like, this is... I mean,
they were in it.
Like, this is so bad. The plan is still like unfolding, but it was essentially to like drive into the crowd, detonate themselves, machetes. Like, I mean, they
said their goal was to kill as many as possible.
It could have been, I mean, catastrophic on levels we've never heard of.
There's no recovering from that.
No.
There's no recovering.
Yeah. Now, listen, there are so many people on Twitter who were going to Austria from all over the world. I don't even know if I told you this, but remember the girl I sent you with her? She was going to take her dad, and he was like going to wear the costume.
Yes.
They were going to Vienna. I know, it broke my heart. And he was like, she posted about how he had even bought like tape on Taylor Swift fingernails for, like, I mean,
my goodness.
He was going over the top for her. So many people, a lot of people taking their little girls to Austria, because it's just Austria. It's just this little country that nothing happens in. And of course, many people were already there in the air, and it just got canceled. And I can't imagine that has to be like devastating for sure, because first of all, you've sunk a lot of money into it, even though the tickets are much cheaper overseas. It ain't cheap to get to Austria. So, I can't imagine that thought. And then, like, what do you do? Do you turn around? Do you still go to Austria? But there's been kind of some, I don't know. I think you and I have some weird feelings, but also a few places we have different feelings about what's kind of transpired in Austria and Vienna. Essentially, all these people have now congregated to the streets, specifically one street outside of the hotel that the media in Vienna went ahead and released that Taylor was staying at, which...
What are we doing?
Oh, for the love. First of all, typically Taylor is not in the location until the day of the show. But based on the stupid people that do all the tracking of her planes, it appears that she was actually already in Vienna. So, God. Anyway, the fact that the media did that is absurd. But these people have congregated. And we have similar feelings in that, I think, in that, guys, people were threatening a large crowd, and this has not been like fully uncovered yet. Like, people are still getting arrested. Why are you congregating? Like,
okay, that was my go-to. I get
like
maybe if you
ducks.
stay there and do some like sightseeing, whatever, that's fine. But if we're still congregating and we're still singing the Taylor Swift songs and we're still doing all, like, you're still putting yourself in danger. I don't get. You wouldn't be there. I'd be opposite side of town.
Oh yeah. And I think it's really cool what the city of Vienna is doing. A lot of the businesses, like, show proof of your ticket. They're giving them a lot of free stuff. They could even go to the, I don't know how you pronounce it. The
Swarovski.
There you go. The crystals, like, and they're giving you a gift.
Yeah.
Pandora's giving away gifts out. Like, I think they're trying to make the best of a really bad situation, and thankfully nothing to date has happened yet to these crowds that are continuing to gather every day and essentially put on their own Eras tour.
Yeah.
And part of it, I do think, is like, you said to me that it gave you cult vibes. It doesn't, that's where it doesn't do that to me, but it just gives me like weird, like dangerous.
I think the cult vibes were more of when they were doing it in front of where they thought her hotel was. That's like, this is creepy. Well, I get people them wanting to gather and still do the songs and stuff, but when you're doing it where you thought she was, when there's already safety concerns, what are we doing? Where common sense clearly went out the window.
Well, and listen, Twitter, God love it and God hate it. People are either like totally on board, she did the right thing, or people are hating her. And here's the thing that I think we talked about this when the South America situation happened. You'll have to remember too that, like, there's contracts in place. This is a business. It's not just Taylor and her guitar with her parents anymore. Like, this is like a global entity, very large, very profitable. It did not help, I don't think, that the local police in Vienna were like, we didn't tell them to cancel. But they said, we understand why they did. I think they have to say something like that because, like, they also don't want mass hysteria in their city.
True.
So I kind of get why they did that. Taylor said when the Manchester attack happened and the Vegas attack happened, she had said before she went out on the Eras tour that she had massive fears and anxiety about something happening to her fans. She has never said in those interviews to her personally. Now, she has talked about how she carries like the quick clot and all that with her, but she has massive fear and anxiety about what could happen to her fans. And like, what did you guys want her to do? Because, like, we're still arresting people. We still don't know we don't even know at this point when the shows were starting to or should have started. They hadn't even finished sweeping the stadium. So, like,
I
don't know.
And I think here's the thing. The responsible thing to do was to cancel. I realize that's not the popular decision.
Yeah.
But if she had gone on with these shows and anything would have happened, the liability for that, unreal. Well, and I think, like, this was not just one or two kids saying, yeah, we're going to go do some dumb stuff. These were people actually related to a legitimate, known, threatening terroristic group.
They've only released like a little that I've seen so far, very small blurred clip of one of their videos threatening this. And it is just like all the ones that we used to see with ISIS. Like, it is absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine. You have to remember too, like, even though she is like the moment, she is still a human.
Right.
And has always been very vocal about her anxieties and like fears. And I can't imagine how crippling this could feel for her. Allegedly, as of right now, the Wembley shows are still going to happen this next week in London. And of course, the mayor of London's like, well, we got this.
Yeah.
They were just rioting in the streets in London about other stuff. So I'm just saying, I cannot imagine that fear of popping up out on that stage the first night in Wembley.
No. You're just going to be scared.
I can't even fathom. And I've had people ask me in the questions too, like, if you had tickets to Wembley, would you still go? Well, here's the kicker. I don't have tickets, but I have a code that I could go on Ticketmaster right now and buy tickets. And I was still looking as of maybe 3 days ago, because there's part of me that still really wants to go. Yes, I probably would still go because it's London. And I think we sort of talked about this last night. I don't think there's anywhere outside of the US that I would consider, or Canada, I should say, outside of North America, that I would still consider going after this other than London. Maybe Paris, but I think London, I would feel safer. I don't know. That could be very naive. So I think, yes, I would still go. You guys, you don't know, though. You could really run the risk of getting to London and something has to get canceled.
Right.
I don't know, but I think she made the right decision. I think she made the only responsible legal decision.
Yes.
And I think that it's just, again, it's these people that call themselves Swifties that are bashing her about this. Also, that you didn't even have tickets to Vienna. So what are you so mad about? Like, you couldn't watch your live stream? Is that what you're angry about? Like,
there's just too many people's lives she's responsible for that you can't, when something is this big and this threatening, credibly threatening, you can't risk that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, the whole thing. I really feel for her. I feel for her team. I think about her dancers too. And if you've noticed, they've been radio silent, all of them. And the dancers are usually posting all the time. Now they are pretty smart about posting the city they just left when they're in the new city. I'm sure they've been told to stay silent right now, because they don't want people to know where they are right now, because they are still in danger until this is all completely eradicated. And honestly, the problem that we have in today's society is copycats. When I hear things like this happening, I still think of like, oh, somebody's going to get the freaking bright idea to,
Yeah. Look at all the attention they got. Let me try it.
Yeah.
It's a scary situation.
I think the only thing that I like is that, and maybe it's because it's Austria, so maybe we don't know, but like, we don't know their names or their faces or,
Yeah.
They haven't become like this public figure yet. And so that sometimes can help thwart the copycats. But yeah, I don't think she had any other decision to make. Do I think it broke her heart to make it? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the questions about, do we think, we had a couple, do we think she's going to reschedule Vienna? I don't know. There's like this large part of me that wants to say yes, because that seems like something she would do. But then there is, I think, the logistical nightmare of getting back to Austria, because like in about a week's time, she's back in the States. With a lot of things.
Well, you already refunded everybody's ticket. So
I don't think
people would have to get, I think it's one of those where she would like to, because she doesn't want to cancel on people. But I don't think it's realistic that she actually would.
No. Now, I do think that in the future, the next tour, I think something special will happen for Vienna. But yeah, I just don't think logistically. And yes, I have seen, dear Lord, if one more person asks in the comments if we've seen the thing about the Canadian shows that an extra one was added for like 10 minutes and then it was taken down. Yes, we saw it happen. Yes, I thought it was weird. I still am not of the camp that she's going to add an extra show in Canada. I think that was a mistake. I am still of the camp that she will add a last date on her birthday, December 13th, and it will be in LA, and that will end the tour officially. I still believe that's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. Will I need a ticket? Yes, because on this very day last year, I was in LA at the 1989 announcement. So I feel like it's only right that I also be invited to the last night.
Makes sense. Why not?
Clearly,
I like it.
Clearly. One of the reasons that I don't think she's going to add anything to the fall is our girl has a full calendar of football games to attend.
She does. Listen, she's got life to get back to. Travis needs her at the games. We need her.
Yeah, we've got a young man, number 87, that needs his number one fan.
That's right.
We as Chief fans need the number one fan so we can win the games. The whole thing.
Brittany needs her friend there too.
Yeah. Somebody's got to throw the baby shower. I mean, come on, people. But this past week, I got to go to training camp.
You did. Tell us all the things.
So, and we're going to go again on Monday.
Okay.
Last little jaunt before school starts. Okay, so training camp was fantastic. I had no idea what to expect. Which that's not my vibe. I don't like to go into something when I don't know like what's going to happen. What do you do? Where do you sit? Are there chairs? Like I need details. Not as many details as Becca needs, but I'm somewhere in like Becca insane and the insanity of no details. I'm somewhere right there.
That's probably a healthy place to be.
Not only not healthy, but it's healthier probably.
Healthier.
But it was so seamless, I have to say. It was fantastic. Well, I also was like, what are we doing at Missouri Western University? Like in my head, I was thinking probably like 5 students go there. Is it really an online school? Things like that. They had a beautiful campus.
Do they?
It was beautiful. And the football field, like practice area where they were, I mean, okay. I do wonder if they get a lot of money from the Chiefs for this. I would assume so. Probably. But it was a very seamless process. The tickets were free. You had to pay $5 for parking. That's fine. And literally, like, we parked and walked 200 yards and we were in the line. I was very alarmed when we got there. I had one guy tell me that we needed to be there at 4 a.m. It started at 9:30. That's not going to happen. We got there about 8:15. And there was a line, and I was alarmed when I saw it because I was like, ugh. I hate a line. And 8-year-old, it's a line. It went like that. I mean, it was very seamless, had everybody in and out. They had, on the actual football field for the university, they had like inflatables. We didn't go over there because I don't like to do that kind of thing either. They had the pro shop, lost a lot of money there. Very smart on their part.
I was gonna say, that's probably where they make their money.
The lady told me that they sell semi-truck, right? In each week of training camp, they sell a semi-truck full of Sharpies.
Oh my God.
I can see why. We bought one. I couldn't find it. Like, it's a thing. So yeah, that happens.
Oh my gosh.
But that was a really quick process too, even though it was completely packed. And then you walk in, and much to the delight of my little 8-year-old All-American boy, the Chiefs cheerleaders are there with a full picture of themselves. They're ready to sign it. They're ready to hug on you and love on you and take your pictures. They were very sweet. Like super personable, like look the kids in the eyes. What's your name? What are you into? Like, I did this. They were fantastic. So that's like your first thing you see. And then there's concessions, of course, because we must make money. Snow cones are right here in your face because they know the children. And then, so there's 2 sections. Well, there's 3 sections, I guess. So they have like each end zone is a section.
Okay.
The furthest away is like a grassy knoll. And the one closest to you is bleachers. It was about 205 degrees. So I wasn't going to sit on the bleachers because it's like metal hot. Ugh.
Right.
And that area was super crowded because that's right when you walk in. That is also when you see the pictures when they're coming down the hill.
That's where okay.
So we did go over to that gate just to see them. Now, they don't sign autographs before camp, and they don't even really come over there. Like a couple of guys gave people high fives. Most of them just like wave and
right.
And when you see them record the TikTok question every day, it's like right there. So that was kind of funny to see them stop and
cool.
And it's not even a person; it's just a screen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that all happened. So we got to see them all walk in. We got to see all our faves. Trav, of course, was the last one out. So we had to wait. And then down the sideline, there's more bleachers. Those were super packed. So we went to the opposite, and we went to the grassy knoll because I had been informed by our new friends, the Kingdom Queens.
Yes.
You want to be, there's these white poles with a white camera on top. You want to be close to that. So I found that it was the opposite end. That's apparently what's recording the practice. I don't know why anyway, I don't know how they knew that. But
it's good to know people.
Yeah, exactly. So we just sat on the grass. Wish I had a blanket. We'll be taking one Monday because it was very itchy.
Yeah.
But we sat and we watched practice. I got to tell you, I am super pumped for this offense.
Yes.
Holy moly. It was so like just seamless.
Yeah.
Patrick looked so just like, a lot of times last season, he seemed very like frantic, like
right.
Kind of like just
always having to make a lot of last second decisions.
just as easy breezy because there's so many weapons out there.
Yeah, now, makes a difference.
Let me tell you, Judd and I talked about this. Xavier Worthy, the very first play that they ran in the 7-on-7 drill, he took off running down the sideline. And I'm not joking you when I say that I blinked and he was all the way at the end zone. The speed of this dude is like, I know that Tyreek Hill is like the standard of NFL speed. I'm telling you, Xavier Worthy is faster.
Wow.
It was impressive. Like, this dude was just, I mean, he was everywhere. And hands like glue. It was
love to see it.
So exciting. So exciting. Rashee looked really, really good. He looked a lot stronger than he looked last season.
Okay.
You know, there was a lot of times last season where I was like, oh, he's going to get hit and get broken.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like that now. I don't know that he's put on a lot of weight or muscle, but he just looks solid. Like, again, was just catching everything.
Did you guys see Pacheco any?
Yes, I was about to say Pacheco was, if it's at all possible, running angrier than he was before. Just stomping through everything. Trav looked really good. I'll be honest, he probably, in the 7-on-7 drill, I think he was only in on 2 plays. Okay. And in the 11-on-11 drill, I think he was only in on 1.
Well, and I think we're going to have to
I think that may be the new norm.
That's going to be the norm.
Yeah. I don't think we're talking 1,000-yard season. There's been no rumors that he's banged up at all, and he didn't look hurt, but he looked very tired.
He's just aged.
Yeah, it's way more apparent in person. Even up close, he looks very aged in the past year. Not that he doesn't look good, but yeah, it's. I think this could be the new norm. So I think that we may need to level set our expectations as Chiefs fans.
But it sounds like we have other things to look forward to.
Well, I was going to say, I will say Jared Wiley, the new tight end rookie. Yes. Wow, he is Travis made over.
Excited.
He is Travis made over completely. Hollywood, holy man, that dude. He's everywhere. Like, Xavier Worthy, what I noticed is very, like, a lot of the plays, he's just straight down the field. Xavier Worthy is, like, just bobbing and weaving out of everything, but super fast. So I think it's going to be super exciting. The first preseason game for the Chiefs is tomorrow night.
Yes.
They said they're going to play the starters the first quarter. I bet it's really the only first few plays.
Right. They're not going to do too much.
No, we're not trying to get hurt. But I am personally looking forward to seeing what I'm kind of calling like wide receiver number 4 through 6.
Okay.
Because we know we've got Xavier. We know we have Rashee, because it doesn't sound like we're going to have NFL issues this season. And then we got Hollywood. So we're pretty locked at 3. But 4, 5, and 6, I think, is wide open. If you look at Twitter and a lot of the people who've been going to like every single training camp, first of all, do y'all have a job?
So we're not mad. I just
need to know how we do that.
We would like to know.
Yeah. But everybody is all over the place. Everyone has a different opinion. And I'm really hoping McCole Hardman gets kept.
It's nice that we have options this year. I feel like we didn't have that last year.
And speaking of options, somebody that I actually do think is going to make the roster probably only on the punt returns is our friend from Wales.
Okay.
He is as pretty in person as he is on TV.
He does. He just looks like just a young.
Listen, if we need someone to play Superman, he is our man. He looked like it just.
That's fair.
Yeah. If I had my choices, though, based on what I saw, I would definitely keep Justin Watson.
Okay.
I would keep McCole. I think. I don't know about the next one. My first one to cut is Sky Moore, and not just for
that might be more personal than
Well, I was going to say not just because of that. He dropped every pass I saw him get thrown, and he was working. Well, and he was working with Ian Book, the third string quarterback. And so I'm kind of assuming that who you're working with is based on where you're at in the depth chart.
Maybe he gets moved to practice squad.
Yeah. Now we've got another rookie that we're running at fullback.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now. He's maybe Carson Steele. Maybe that's it. He has long, flowy blonde hair.
Okay.
Kind of running that Kyle Juszczyk or whatever his name is from the 49ers.
Yeah.
He's very short and stocky, but he bulldozes through. So if he's busting a hole for Pacheco.
Yep. We'll take you.
The defense looked fantastic. Drew Tranquill was everywhere and in everything.
We love that.
Chris Jones was as fantastic as always. The offensive line, I have to say, they came over to Judd and they were the nicest guys ever. Creed Humphrey is just a delight.
Yeah.
We were close to exchanging phone numbers. He was so kind. But yeah, so we'll go back Monday. I'll give you the final report, but it was fantastic. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Obviously, we're going Monday.
There's a lot of excitement and momentum going into them this season. So it sounds like they're going strong.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I will say, and you messaged me like, did you hear about this? No, I did not hear about it beforehand, but yes, John Gruden was everywhere at camp.
Yeah, that's odd.
I'm intrigued. I have a theory. I know you're shocked.
Obviously.
Now, I can't decide if I like my theory, though. Okay. I think, as we've talked about with Trav, as long as we can go out on a good note this season, I do think this could be it, even more so after seeing training camp. I think this could be it for Andy.
Interesting.
And I hope that doesn't mean this, but I wonder. Listen, he's done all you can do. And I mean, it's time to enjoy life. But
I'm just signed an extension, though, didn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, you know how that works. Well, right. We really don't know how it works.
Guaranteed money, but.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if John Gruden is kind of like a coach in waiting, perhaps.
Interesting. Maybe they're just trying to get the feel of the guys. How would you?
He's everywhere is the reason that I'm wondering that. Like, yes, I saw him with Patrick for about maybe 5 minutes. I truly saw him more with the receivers, the running backs, and over with Spags with the defense. And so that's what made me wonder, why would John Gruden be hanging out with the defense? Unless he's like teaching them what to look for in quarterbacks. I don't know.
I guess maybe I would have thought more if Reed's not there. Maybe they would go for like Eric Bieniemy.
Well, that's what I've always wanted. Because as much as I love Spags, I don't see him as a head coach.
No, I don't either.
I would love it if Bieniemy came back. I don't know. I just think there's something to this. And John Gruden wasn't just there, decked out, head to toe.
I saw that.
He even had on Chiefs socks. Like,
he was.
So that's my report on the Chiefs. We'll be back with more. There's been another little sporting event happening lately.
We've had a few.
We will talk about the top NFL players list that came out, but we're going to save that for our football episode. Let's talk about the Olympics.
They're still happening. We've only got a few more days left, but we've had lots of events happen.
Where do you want to start? You kick us off.
Well, I mean, we can just briefly touch. We did have, of course, Scotty Scheffler wins gold men's golf. That man, literally unstoppable. Jail could not hold him down. He is winning all the things.
He's fantastic. And he's just Mr. USA, the way he and Meredith were at events. Yeah.
And you can tell he's just there to have, like, I just want to have fun. He's doing his best, but I just want to have fun.
And his best is real good.
Right? His having fun is clearly working out for him. So we've had that. We're past all the gymnastics things now.
But we've had some drama.
We've had a little drama here. So we had, obviously, the women, the whole team won gold. Mm-hmm. Then they separated it out in different nights of all the different individual events. Mm-hmm. So we did have Suni Lee won bronze on uneven and bronze on all around. Simone takes gold on vault, which if she hadn't, we probably would have all rioted.
It would have been a riot for sure.
She took silver on floor, gold on all around. Jade Carey, bronze on vault. Jordan Childs won the bronze on the floor after a little bit of drama happened.
A little snafu. Yeah.
A little bit. So you have all of these competitors go out, which, listen, they all did fantastic on the floor.
I was scared.
I was too. Everybody was on their A game from every country. And you're kind of like, this could really go anyway.
Any direction, yeah.
The only one that literally did not mess up at all was that Rebecca Andrade, who took gold.
Yeah.
But so Jordan finishes, she scores, and she's like a 10th below third place. So it puts her in 4th place. Oh. I did not know that apparently it's extremely common for a coach or an athlete to go to the judges and inquire about their score.
Yeah, I didn't know this either. I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, so I watched Sean Johnson East was doing some commentary on Yahoo Sports Instagram page. And so she was talking about it. She said, it's super common for them to do that. And she was like, you run the risk of they could. So if you go inquire, they have to take it to the head judge table, and the head judge table will completely watch your routine over and recalculate your difficulty score. So they do that, and it ends up that they give Jordan Childs an extra point, like 10th of a point. That puts her in bronze, knocks Romania out. Yeah. There were apparently 4 athletes/coaches that inquired on that floor routine. So Jordan Childs was not the only one that put in an inquiry.
Now, were they inquiring about their own athletes or?
Yes.
Okay.
Their own. Yeah. Okay. So ends up Jordan takes bronze. They go through all of that. Now, Romania, who was knocked out of 3rd place, they have put in an injunction or something with the IOC. So that there's 2 things from what I understand that can come from that. One, they can tell her, so sorry, this is what the decision was. Better luck in 2028. Or they can come back and say, yeah, we didn't give you the 10th of a point that we should have, and you also get the bronze. They will not take Jordan's bronze, but they will have their own bronze.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I saw the hullabaloo.
Really well, Romania has kind of come out on Instagram and made some comments.
Yeah, real nasty.
To that. Listen, that's not what we're doing here.
Yeah, accusing her of cheating and all that. Like, yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't like Russia, because I feel like Jordan could end up missing then. You know, just, whoo, that would be it. No, thank you. Go ahead and keep my point.
No.
That's fine.
So that was, they were fun to watch. I think that was really what the whole hype around the Olympics has been, was to see them kind of come back and do that. So right now we're all in on track and field, though.
Listen,
I love it.
All right. My favorite, and this is one of our questions later on, but and I have a couple for that question, but Tara Woodall from the University of freaking Arkansas. We finally have a moment.
I love it.
Listen, she and Hunter, I have followed them for a while. They both are athletes at the University of Arkansas. Hunter is a paraplegic. He's had both legs removed, and he has the prosthetic running legs.
Which are so cool that they can make.
Very cool. It also makes me think of that Blade Runner dude that killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, we're not going to go to Pistorius.
Yeah. Hunter would never. They are like the cutest couple. They're really fun on social media to follow. So if you don't follow them, you totally should, because they go through like their training and stuff, but also just their relationship, also being like top of their sport athletes. It's really, really, and they just have such a cute love story. Yeah. She freaking jumped. Like, it blows my mind. Like, when they showed the graphics of how high Simone was jumping and now how far Tara was jumping, long jumping.
Is it not crazy?
What is in your legs? Like, it's like
straight muscles.
Like, wow.
Watching them jump, my knees were hurting a little bit. And I was like, I could not have jumped to like the second line.
No. And she freaking killed it, won the gold medal, and he will compete, I guess, in 2 weeks now in the Paralympics. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I just absolutely love them. But the whole track and field thing has been interesting. What did you think about the whole Noah Lyle's situation that he ran with COVID allegedly, but then pre-race he was running around like a madman, and then post-race he was in a wheelchair.
Well, see, that made sense to me because you've got to go out and hype yourself up.
Okay.
You know you're going on next to nothing. You got to get yourself hyped up.
Yeah.
To get ready to go run this. You could clearly tell when he was waiting to come out, it was not the same note. You could tell he didn't feel good. And even the other competitors were saying like he distanced himself from us. Like we just kind of thought like none of them knew he was sick. They've all also come out and said like none of us felt like we were put in harm's way with getting COVID.
I wondered, yeah.
Yeah, all of them have said we didn't even care about that. But you could tell he was pushing it at the end, especially after seeing him in the 100. We all saw what he was capable of at the end.
Yeah.
And you could tell at that 200, he was barely making it. I'm impressed that he.
I can't even imagine.
Bronze. Well, are you kidding me?
I can't even imagine just running in general, but yeah. I was bummed that that he is dropping out of his other event. I mean, I understand, but I'm bummed for him. Like, but he'll be back for sure. We have to talk about Sydney McLaughlin.
Ladrone
or whatever. Whoa, moly.
Impressive.
So I saved this graphic so I could make sure I didn't screw this up. Last 6 400-meter hurdles championship finals. 2021 world record, 20 trials, and then the Olympics world record. 2022 trials, Olympics.
Every time.
24, same thing. She is so automatic and so, first of all, she's so pretty. Like
gorgeous.
Like I feel that way about Tara too. I think I'm just like, y'all are stunning and phenomenal.
Yes.
But the like just automaticness, is that a word? Automaticness of her. Like, yeah, I like the word. Just, oh my gosh. And when she was like at the end of her race, draped in the flag, wearing the crown, I was like,
best picture.
So, like, this was incredible.
Yeah. It's fun watching her husband in the crowd get so hyped up too.
Yeah.
During her runs.
Yeah.
But if you notice, and I always notice with her and Gabby Thomas, when they run, because they are both the fastest women I think to ever exist, their upper bodies besides their arms do not move. Every other runner is like
fluid. Yeah, it's just like
they're just like it's so impressive.
Must be something to it.
God, it's so good.
Yeah, every time she runs, she breaks her own record. I don't know, like, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
But now let me ask you something. And then this was someone you were really excited about. How'd you feel about Sha'Carri getting silver?
I mean, obviously we wanted to see her win gold.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't push it as fast on that end. And she was huffing. So yeah, I think that we'll see her one more time in the Olympics. So I'm anxious to see that. She's in the women's relay.
Yeah.
4x100, I think. She's not in the 4x4. I will be interested. I watched her in the semifinals yesterday, and she looked fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, she took first place with ease. So I'm anxious to kind of see that. Here's the thing. There was some drama before her race that she took silver at.
Okay, I've seen a little of this, but not all. Tell us what's happening. Drama everywhere. Can we not just have one normal event?
Paris to get it together.
Well, in Austria, it ends with us. Everything is drama.
Yeah. There is, so Sha'Carri from the U.S. and then something Fraser from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Which both of them were favored to win. Like, they're both top of the field.
Yep.
They are not staying in Olympic Village. They are staying like in a hotel or something else. Okay. So they have taken private transportation to get to the fields. So when they went to do semis and warm-ups and everything, they've taken private transportation, got into the gate, no problem at all. Overnight, the Paris Olympics changed the rule that you could not get into the stadium where they were without being on a team bus from the Olympic Village. But they did not share that with the individuals that were not staying in the Olympic Village. So Sha'Carri and then this Jamaican runner get there and are told, like, you can't come in. So they wasted so much time trying to get in and then having to walk an insane distance to get around and come into the arena where they would allow them.
If this was me, I'm done. If I've got to walk, I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. So they were saying like they didn't get their normal. So the Jamaican runner drops out. She's like, I'm not running this.
Yeah.
Sha'Carri still does it because she was like, I didn't get to go to the last Olympics. I'm for sure running this race, but she did not get her warm up. Listen, I'm not an athlete. I would think a warm up would wear me out. Like, I'm done. That's you got the best I got.
Yeah. I've already walked here. I mean,
right. So I don't know how much that threw her off of what her norm might have been. But possibly it could have played into it. I like that she didn't reference it at all. She didn't use it as an excuse. Yeah. Like, she was proud of herself. I still got a silver medal. So I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, we always want gold in everything. I think we'll win the relay.
I mean, we're taking the lead in track and field medals right now.
I mean,
we're killing it. Yeah.
Now, another area that I feel like we've been a little off, maybe this go around, is the swimming, and I apparently know what I'm talking about because Mr. Michael Phelps, who is the king of swimming, seems to have thought the same. You want to talk about his comments?
Well, so I think that the women have done pretty well.
We have Katie Ledecky.
Yeah. So we've done pretty well there. A few races I think we've had disappointing.
Yeah.
But by disappointing, I mean, like, we ended up taking bronze.
Right. Yeah.
But the men have kind of surprised us with not winning where we thought they would. Caleb Dressel didn't even qualify for two of like his events.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been shocking, but Michael Phelps came out, I think it was this week, when he was talking to the Today Show, and he just mentioned that as a whole, he was pretty disappointed with the U.S. swimming results. And he's always been one that has said, like, the rest of the world is catching up with us. So we've got to continue to evolve and do better.
Yeah.
But he was pretty, I mean, he didn't hold back on his thoughts.
Yeah.
He's hoping they'll do better in 2028. Now, Katie Ledecky was asked about his comments in an interview. And I could tell she was very uncomfortable that she was asked about it, because she kind of sidestepped the question and was like, look at our medal count. We've still done really well. I think there's always areas we can improve, but as a whole, like, she was very positive. So you could tell that maybe the swimming community does not agree with the statements that he has made. But listen, you can't, his old coach, coaching the guy from France.
Yeah.
Nobody's good.
And I mean, I think the thing is, when you set the bar as the best at anything, everyone's always coming for you. And so while Michael Phelps I don't know that anyone will ever usurp what he has done in the swimming world, but I wouldn't be shocked if eventually somebody does, because it's just what happens. And so I could kind of see from Katie's perspective, I mean, honestly, she's had a few races that I was disappointed in, and she's Katie Ledecky. So, I think it has to be from their perspective too. They've worked their tails off. It's not like they've shown up and been like, oh, we're just Team USA. The rest of the world is gunning for you. So, like, you have a target on your back, and you're the ones in the actual pool this time. Michael's not. And so I could see that being a little bit frustrating when, like, hey, we're the ones still doing this. You're retired with your little man bun.
Right.
But I hope they use it more as fuel to, like, come back with a vengeance. We'll see. Because we can't have just a couple dramas. We had one more. Obviously, we've talked on here about Michaela Skinner and her comments about the Team USA women's gymnastics team and all that has transpired with that. Well, now Michaela wants Simone to come to her rescue.
Can we, first off?
I can't even. I really can't.
So after the women win gold for the team, Simone posts a picture of them with all their medals standing up there, and it says something like "lazy Olympic champions" or something like that.
Yeah,
did not call Michaela out, but everybody knew what she was talking about. So now Michaela has come out to ask Simone publicly, to fall off the cyberbullying. So not only did you work to make this about you, now you want to play victim, for the things that you did.
You bullied them.
Coming at you because of what Simone posted on her Instagram. They're coming at you for what you said about the U.S. gymnastics women. Can we not?
No, Michaela, you need to ride off into the sunset, my dear. You do win my award this week for the stupid person of the week. Yeah, we live for petty moments, so I appreciated everything that the women's team did.
I just could not believe that she was trying to turn it and make this like Simone caused the issue.
Yeah, so let me belittle you, but then say, hey,
right.
will you come defend me so these people will leave me alone, even though I was picking on y'all first? Like,
no, listen, Simone couldn't even call her own fans off on her own husband. They're not listening to her about you.
Well, and honestly, we are not fans of the husband, but people are still coming for them. And she's like, y'all just leave us alone. Like,
he made up some ground at the Olympics, but he'll
and he's done a little bit now that he's back at the Bears training camp. They interviewed him, and he's, said she did everything she set out to accomplish. Like, he said some good stuff, but I just don't think we'll ever get rid of the.
No,
she got him.
What you said.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I guess next time we record, we will have had the closing ceremonies, right?
Yes, those are on Sunday, I believe.
I'm boycotting.
I was so mad
when I know why.
So it's announced, I guess, that Miss Billie Eilish will be performing in the closing ceremonies. As if the opening ceremonies weren't lame enough.
Please,
now we've got this.
Please, can we have the freak show Billie Eilish?
But also, why are you closing out again with non-Paris people? Shouldn't you be like paying homage to your own culture?
I'm just completely out. And I'm annoyed because, typically the closing ceremonies kind of set the wheels in motion for the next Olympics.
Right. Maybe that's why. LA.
Well, shouldn't we have someone that's from LA then? Like somebody that's like quintessential LA? Not why Billie Eilish? Like,
maybe they were out of money. Like she couldn't have been number one on their list.
Well, they know they're not going to have to come up with a wardrobe budget because she's just going to show up in all the baggy clothes from the 90s.
God.
I'm boycotting. I'm out. I will not watch.
Okay.
So Becky will have to give us a recap because I will not partake. Are we ready for some questions?
You want to do questions?
Let's do them.
All right.
You people ask, we answer.
We are nothing if not accommodating to questions.
Listen, we love these. They're our favorite part. There's some really good ones this week. One of them really made me laugh. We'll get to in a second. But first up from Haley. Haley asked, if you could only listen to 3 artists for the rest of your life, who would you select?
Hey.
And I know you're going to start with Dan and Shay. So go ahead after that. Who do we have next?
Like me.
Yeah. Who do you have number 2?
So here's the thing. You got to pick people that have big catalogs. If I'm getting you the rest of my life, I'm going to need some variety here. So Dan and Shay.
Wow. That was shocking. Okay.
And then I did Taylor Swift. I don't know if we're still adding her unless she's a given, but like with variety and catalog, listen, you could just keep listening to her songs solely. So I have her. And then my last one, I couldn't decide between the two. I went Andy Grammer or Bruno Mars. I just enjoy that.
Wow, I was not
ever.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
See, listen, I had them or I had Ludacris and Eminem.
Well,
so we were kind of all
diverse. Like,
no, I like it all. I don't get bored.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. I did have the thought too of like, okay, I need somebody with a lot of music because I don't want to listen to the same song over and over. Obviously, Taylor was my number 1 pick. And she fulfills those requirements for sure.
Yeah.
But then I got a little sketchy because I was like, there's a lot of artists that don't have a huge catalog, but if we're saying the rest of my life, does that mean they will continue to make music? And then I get that.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, I didn't even change the rules.
Listen, make all the rules. So you do what you do. You.
Okay, fine. So I'm just curious. Do you have any that you would guess besides Taylor for me? Since I picked Dan and Shay for you,
I'm always gonna guess Bleachers.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Do you have a third guess?
Let's see. Taylor, Bleachers. I don't know who I would put for your last one.
I went Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Because I'm going to need some music on my angry days.
That's fair.
In my petty days, when I need something a little more than reputation.
Okay.
So, yeah, I went Kendrick. Now there's a lot of people I could have gone with. My other that was kind of on the hinge of, I don't know, maybe, was Justin Timberlake. Because, I mean, sometimes I need a little dance, you know?
Right. And he's got a pretty good catalog.
That's what I was thinking. And, he's got some sad ones, but then, like, I get a little, can't stop that feeling, you know? I mean, I can't dance, but I might need to.
Right. I can when nobody's looking.
Yeah. So, that was a great question. Next up from Steph, this is the one that made me laugh.
Fantastic.
From Steph, can you explain fantasy football to me like I'm in first grade? Okay, well, first of all, in my head, when I started like formulating my answer, I couldn't quite get it down to that level. So how would you explain it to a first grader?
Okay, well, because I feel like this was pretty much my question to you all of last season.
Okay.
Really, fantasy football is you get to create your own football team that you're the coach of. That's all it is.
Yep.
You're picking random players. They're all on your roster, and then you get to decide who plays each week. That is literally all fantasy football is.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to say was essentially that, like, just pick a bunch of players. And then what I was going to say is just ignore the whole scoring aspect.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about that. Because here's the thing. I've played fantasy football for, I don't know, maybe 20 years now.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how the scoring works. Well, and I run our league. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Default answers, and I just click save. I don't know. People have messaged me in our league and said, "Hey, can we do this?" I don't even know what that means. No, I can't even entertain it.
Yeah,
just ignore it all.
Player can, depending on how well they do in the actual game that they play on TV that we watch, they get so many points, and that's what adds to your score.
Yeah, and it's like it all is different. Like a running back gets these points and a quarterback gets these points with these things. So yeah, all I came up with was go pick all the best players available and put them on your team.
Yeah. You're just the coach of your own team that you created. That's all it is.
Fun.
It is actually really fun.
Yep. I was working on our league this week.
You're getting beat by an 8-year-old.
He's smart though. That's all I can say.
He's really good at picking.
All right, from Lacey, what 3 shows should I binge? I've got a Hallmark side, but don't mind more drama than romance.
Lacey, I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody ever comes to my defense and they're like, yeah, Hallmark is a great thing.
Well, I like how she was like, I mean, I have that side, but.
That's okay. I'm taking it as Lacey is me at heart. Okay?
All right.
All right. I picked some good ones for her.
Okay.
So I went a little older. White Collar. Have you watched that one before?
Oh, I thought you were going to say like I went something that's like a white collar show instead of a book. White Collar. Got it.
I didn't know like my favorite, which is Golden Girls, but I feel like that's probably not the audience.
That's very niche. Very niche.
We're going to go White Collar. That's got Matt Bomer. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. It's only 6 seasons, so it's pretty easy to binge watch.
Okay.
Only Murders in the Building. If you haven't watched that one, you got to binge that. And then the last one I went, Abbott Elementary.
I picked Abbott Elementary too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's one of our favorites to watch. Yeah.
Okay, those are good ones. I am actually totally stunned, though, that we did not get a Grey's Anatomy.
I thought about it, but then I thought that's asking someone to invest half of their life to binge, and that's a
lot to binge. Yeah. So I went with Suits.
I had them, and then I put White Collar in place of it.
And then I had Abbott Elementary as well because I need some laughing too.
Yeah.
And then that show I've mentioned on here before, All American.
Yes. Okay.
You still haven't watched it, have you?
No. I think I did watch some clips on TikTok though, but I haven't actually watched it.
That's the only way I've seen the show too. I've not actually seen the show. Same with Suits.
Yeah, I've watched.
I freaking love it. I think it'd be a great binge if you don't like sports shows though. It's not really going to be your vibe. But I will say the other one I had was a little more Hallmark-esque though. Heart of Dixie.
That's such a good one.
I love that show. And that's so not my vibe.
Okay, for sure, Lacey, do Heart of Dixie first. Such a good one.
Because she mentioned that she does have that side, I was like, she needs a little something.
Yeah, that one's
a good one though. All right, we kind of talked about this, but Liam asked, how would you rank the Team USA performance at the Olympics this summer? And what is your favorite moment or just favorite moment? we kind of talked about this. I feel dumb even saying that I've been a little disappointed because, still, I can't do a cartwheel.
Really good.
I think overall we've done fine. There's been, like we've said, specific races or heats or, whatever the event might be where I've been a little disappointed. I'll tell you the thing that I'm most anxious to see, and actually one thing just ended. Team USA women did just beat Australia pretty handedly.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Hope you weren't waiting on that. So I'm excited about where that is. But I tell you where I am the most disappointed. I don't know if you caught it last night. Any of the men's team playing Serbia.
They came out by the skin of their teeth.
Woo! If we didn't have Steph Curry, we were sunk. Dude had 36 points, like 9 3-pointers. But I'm confused on the whole as to what's happening with this team because you have Jason Tatum, who just won the world championship. He did not play one single minute yesterday.
I read something that said that they only won towards the end of the game because they stopped listening to coach.
They started listening to Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
That's literally, if you watched the game, Steve Kerr's on the sideline like bright red screaming plays to them. Every single player is looking to the other sideline where Melo is sitting with his son, and Melo is literally pointing and barking orders.
Yeah.
And they came back and won. So I was like, can we please get Melo in as a coach next? Because
I think Steve Kerr, maybe clearly that's not working.
Yeah. Which should tell you something because the Warriors haven't won in a long time anyway. But anyway, so that is kind of on my radar right now as to how that's going to end up because we're playing France for the gold.
Yeah.
And they've got Wemby. So we'll see. I will say if we lose, that will take my disappointment level in Team USA very far down.
Okay. That's fair.
Also, I just have to remind the audience, I'm going to always have an asterisk next to this Olympics because Alex Morgan is not there. Now, listen, I will say Team USA, the women.
Doing really well.
Naomi Girma. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Stanford. I freaking love her. I will tell you right now, as much as I adore Alex Morgan, they don't play the same position, so I feel like I can say this. Naomi is probably the best center back in soccer that like the U.S. has ever seen. And I'm super annoyed with the Europeans who keep judging her because she plays in the U.S. Women's Soccer League as opposed to the Premier League in Europe.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all don't own soccer. Like, we know whatever. Like, nothing is getting past her. I think if we have any chance to win this gold medal, it's going to be on her shoulders completely.
Yeah.
I think Lynn goes out and gets this team and leaves Alex off so stupidly. So she has Lindsey Horan as the captain who literally looks like a lump on a log on the field. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's been
great.
To me, it's been very disappointing outside of Naomi, Trinity Rodman, and Sophia Smith. And Mallory Swanson. I'm going to give it to those three. So if we lose gold in that, I'm not even going to be disappointed because we were doomed from the beginning.
Yeah.
But if the men's team loses, that's going to affect me. My favorite moment, hands down right now, because it just happened yesterday, was Tara winning and jumping in Hunter's arms.
It was just the sweetest.
It was just, and then close second was obviously Simone winning gold for me. What about you?
I like that.
What's your favorite moment?
For me, my favorite moment has definitely been seeing the women's gymnastics team win gold. Just because you saw what they came from in 2021 in Tokyo, and what this kind of meant to them. So to see them win that together, that's just the best moment so far. I think overall, Team USA, we're still doing good. We're still way ahead in the medal count. I think we're only 2 golds behind China as of this morning.
Yeah.
So overall, we're still doing great. I just think there's been a couple of things that we had high expectations for that just didn't play out. Beach volleyball, we no longer have any of the U.S. teams in, so that's been kind of a bummer. But our indoor is still in it. So
I do have to issue an apology to the U.S. women's 3x3 team. I still don't understand the point of your existence in the Olympics.
I don't need it.
But you did go from 0-3 the last time we recorded to winning the bronze medal. So thank you for your service to our country. Carry on with your lives. My apologies. But still, I don't get it. Why are we doing this? But my apologies.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready for some WhyFactor?
Let's do some WhyFactor.
Okay. I've got a spicy one today, so I'm a little anxious.
Mine are not super spicy, I don't think.
Well, when I put this one on social media, we'll see what happens. Okay. What are you not liking this week?
So what I'm not liking this week is I have seen on the socials that Gen Z is now coming out and telling us that no-show socks are ick.
Okay, I saw this too. Maybe we saw the same video. Was it that that young actress?
That was one of them, but I have seen quite a few of them say, like, we don't wear. They're wearing what we wore in the 90s with the higher socks that you kind of scrunch down a little. I cannot listen. First off, I can't get behind it.
Nope.
Second off, just let me have my socks. Why are you making fun of my socks?
Okay, I saw that yesterday. What is that young actress's name?
I don't even know. I was just too upset.
Yes, she was like, it was the Slay or Nay video.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't like the word slay, but anyway. And she said that, like ankle socks were the slay. And I was like, what? No. She was also wearing men's clothing.
They already came for our skinny jeans. Now they're coming for our socks. Just leave us. We don't have a ton going for us right now. The world is burning. Let us keep our socks.
Listen, if I want to show my ankles, just let me.
Right. I'm literally not showing anything else.
Yeah. Like, is it really hurting you that my ankle bone is showing?
No.
Back off.
Yeah. So that's what I'm not loving. What are you doing?
I am not liking this whole brat movement.
Okay. I don't understand it. Maybe because I'm not Gen Z with my ankle socks on. So
it's probably that. It's probably your ankle bones are exposed, so you're unable to absorb this.
True. That's true.
Now, my friend Stephanie told me that I and she's older than me, so she told me that this was not for me. That's why I'm not digging it. It's because it's not intended for me. Okay, that's fine. But then stop putting it in my face.
Right.
It's everywhere. So one of the political campaigns has fully embraced the brat movement. And
it just makes me question your intelligence.
So I think where my confusion also lies, and maybe one of the reasons I don't like it, is this all coming from the Charlie XCX video brat?
So that's my understanding is that it is.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't love her music.
I haven't even heard it.
Well, it's not great. Also, if you've seen any of the drama, that has transpired at her birthday party last week in LA, that's a whole nother podcast.
That is true.
But everything is brat now. And it's like the most simplistic lime green, black block font, like so not creative, so unimaginative. But also, like, when I was a kid, and I understand I'm 41, but when I was a kid, like, being called a brat was, like, the worst thing you could call. And if a parent, like, somebody said to another parent, your kid is such a brat, like, you might as well have slapped that mother.
Right.
But now it's, like, the thing to be brat?
I guess it's a compliment. Do we know, does it stand for something?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that it means something we don't know, and we're going to use it, and then, it's a whole thing.
We're not going to use it. We're not that.
I don't like the word because I have PTSD from being a small child.
Right. Listen, I didn't want to be called a brat.
No. I don't want my kid to be a brat, so I'm out.
Okay. I think that's a good one. That's a good thing to, why not?
Well, we'll see when I tag it on social. All right. We may be canceled next week. We'll see. What are you liking this week?
Okay, so what I'm enjoying this week is on social, my algorithm is starting to pick up all these kids going back to college.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like watching those cleaning videos where you just watch and you can't stop.
Okay.
But they're getting their dorms all prepped.
It's a thing.
It's a whole thing. Listen, when we went to college, I remember like I got new bedding and I got some like organizer stuff and maybe a couple of cute picture frames. But that was it. And I thought I got a
bulletin board. Yeah.
Yeah. These people, it's like HGTV before and after photos. I can't even fathom how much they're spending on. I mean, there's drapery, there's headboards, there's monogrammed everything, which I appreciate. There's rugs and accent furniture. I just watched, literally, I was in bed at midnight last night, still just watching all these videos. And I don't know if it's because like I enjoy it and I know that I'm never going to experience that because I have boys and they're going to be like, Mom, just give me a blanket and go.
Blanket and American flag and I'm out.
Right. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm just back on my TikTok.
We could do a whole podcast episode on algorithms because it's not been on mine. And I'll send you something and you're like, don't do that because that's going to mess up.
Messes it up.
Because I certainly have not been there. I have been in some weird.
I've got Bama Rush Talk on mine right now too.
Oh, and I do love that. I don't know why it's not on mine. I'll have to go Google it. Yeah, I've been in some weird holes, but that is not one right now.
Yeah. All right. So what are you loving this week?
One little thing I'm just loving on social media, and then my real thing. Have you on your algorithm come across the James Brown prank videos?
No.
You know that song where it's like, whoa, right at the beginning?
Yes.
And people like hide speakers and scare people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know why, but sometimes it'll just come up and it always seems to happen at the best time when I really need to laugh.
Yes.
Nothing. I just chuckle so much. There was one yesterday, a woman was like drinking the milk out of her like Cheerios bowl. And it just went everywhere. And she just brought the bowl down and she was like, oh my God, it was the best.
Their reactions are my favorite. I just want to see how they react.
But I have one that actually just came out last night at midnight. And I was really looking forward to it. And it delivered, but I'm interested. You're going to have to go listen to it and report back to us.
Okay.
Our girl, Kelsey Ballerini, dropped a song last night.
Okay.
Have you heard it yet?
I have not, but I think I read something like she's got a new album coming out or just a new.
She has a new album coming out in, I think, October called
Girls
Patterns.
Been busy. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's October, called Patterns, but she released one of the songs last night. She said it was one of the first 4 she wrote. It's called Sorry Mom. And I don't know a whole lot around. I need to do a little more research. I think she's still very close to her family, but I just don't know a whole lot of Kelsey's backstory, I guess, other than I know she was married. Now she's not. Now she's with Chase Stokes, all these things. It's a good song. So now there are some lyrics I don't relate to, but the lyrics are essentially about how, like, she's kind of like telling her mom, like, sorry that I didn't do everything the way you wanted me to. And I did these things my way. But like, in the end, she's like, but now I've met a boy that we both like. And it's real cute tying at the end.
Sweet.
There are, again, some lyrics that I don't personally relate to, but she even says something in there about like, she says something like, I know I had sex before I bought the white dress, and then that didn't go with your Christian values. Again, I'm not like promoting or saying that I relate to anything. I'm not here nor it's not this podcast, but it's very like, I know I was raised this way and I did things this way, but here we are, we're still close. I really like it.
Okay. I'm going to have to go listen to this.
Yeah. And it's very good musically. I was super impressed. Like the beginning, it's very just like guitar and her, but then in the second verse, it like picks up a whole new beat, kind of like almost a jazzy vibe to it.
Okay.
I really loved it. So I'm excited for her new album. So,
well, good. She doesn't put out bad stuff. So
it was very, you can tell these girls that are friends with Taylor and have very much followed her writing career. Her and Gracie Abrams, with the way they write their music, it definitely has a Taylor vibe, but like a younger vibe.
Yes. I think it's also given people more freedom to write what they truly think and feel and not try and write to what they think is going to appeal to the mass audience.
Yeah. A lot of feelings and emotions.
Way better music.
Yeah. There was one part. So, Taylor is the queen of the bridge, right? Well, yes. Kelsey has a bridge in this song, and all it is la, la, la.
Okay.
Why did we bother? I don't know.
We could, yeah.
Yeah. But,
okay.
Thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on the socials and keep sending your questions, and you never know, you might see it answered on social media. We'll see. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.